What is up, YouTube? It's Dr. Gaming, or DSG, and we are back at it again with another Warframe Riven review. And on today's Riven review, we are going to be looking at one of my favorite weapons in the game, or rifles, I should say, the Tiberon Prime. So let's go here and check out the base stats before we get into the Riven. Now, I did throw 4 Forma in it because even without a Riven, you'll probably need to drop some in it to make it decent. But the base stats are really good. 28% crit multiplier with a 3.0, or crit chance with a 3.0 crit multiplier with a 20% status, which is pretty fantastic, to be honest, for a burst fire. The IPS is pretty good all around. Semi-fire, even better crit chance with a even better crit multiplier, but less status, which still isn't too terrible, but that's actually really good. And then the full auto has 32% status, meaning you can easily get it to 100% status just by throwing on like dual stat mods and some multi-shot mods, things like that. Then the crit chance is 16.0 with a 2.8 crit multiplier. Now, with the Riven I have, as you kind of see already, my stats are drastically improved from base. So I have 128.9 crit chance with 11.4 crit multiplier, 90% status, which is fantastic on a burst. Then I have 138 crit chance with a 12.9 crit multiplier with the 85% status, which is still pretty good. And then, of course, like I said, you can easily get 100% status. And then I have a 10.6 crit multiplier with a 73.7 crit chance. So my basic build, of course, is Serration, Vital Sense, Split Chamber, Point Strike, Hunter's Munition, High Voltage, and Malignant Force. And you guys already know, if you watch my Amperix video, why I go Corrosive over Viral when it comes to Slash. That's why I have Hunters on. Though you can substitute Hunters for Vigilant Armaments if you really want. But this build is all about Slash. So let's look at the Riven and you'll see why. The Riven I got is a pretty good one, and yes, I rolled it all 60 times, a pain in the ass, and one of the one times I've actually rolled a Riven that much. But it has 160 crit damage with 131 status chance with a 210% crit chance with negative puncture, which again, I'm fine with negative puncture because this build is focused all around Slash because of Hunter's Munition. So a majority of my damage is going to be Slash. So let's get straight into the video and let me show you how well this weapon actually performs with this Riven. And then also I'll show you how the weapon performs without a Riven and what builds I typically use. So let's go straight down here. And by the way, these are 155 heavy bombards and gunners. 3, so that's 3 shots right there for the bombard. He should bleed out. I might be able to get it in 2. We'll try this again. So they all unfreeze. 1, 2. So that's 2 shots. It looks like it might be 3. It might need 3. Maybe. Oh yeah, so 2 shots. And that's not bad. That's with the burst. Like I said, with the Riven, it does make the burst fire pretty good. Now, if we go semi-fire, so that's 5 shots right there on the semi-fire. And he's dead. Let's try this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I missed a couple headshots, but let's see how much it takes. I'm still missing my headshots. I'm like off to the side a bit. But just the slash procs, because of the crit damage alone with it, is pretty damn nice. Now, if we go full auto, pretty much I always get the enemies to half, and then I just kind of, it kind of started killing faster than normal. But I get them to half health, and then you can just walk away and watch them bleed out to death. So, like, about there, even though, again, it still kind of went past half. Let's reload. That's the only downside about this weapon is its full auto mode, because with full auto, you only have 42 in the mag, so your clip isn't that big. So yeah, again, about half health, and then just kind of watch them bleed out the rest of the way. And should bleed out, which it looks like. Yep. All right. But yeah, that is pretty much my build for my Tiberon with the Riven. Now let me show you guys real quick a quick build of it with without a Riven, I should say. Let's configuration C. So again, this is the build I have: point strike, serration, split chamber, vital sense, vigilant armaments, high voltage, malignant force, or hunters. Now personally, I recommend always keeping hunters on. So if you want to substitute anything on this, you can either replace vigilant armaments with like an argon scope. If you really want to, you could probably throw in heavy caliber. I mean, I don't prefer heavy calibers on like weapons where you kind of want to be more precise anyway, but you can if you want to. Hammer shot is another really good one. It gives you extra crit chance and extra status, or crit damage, I should say, and extra status, which is going to be pretty good for both of these. But you can kind of mess around with it as you want. So let me just show you the build I currently have on it right now. This is the build I would use if I didn't have a Riven, and it still kills pretty decently, I should say. So let's free some of these, free some of these. So this is the burst fire, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 shots on the burst fire without a Riven, keep in mind. Let's stun some of these dudes again. See again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 shots. And he should probably just bleed out the rest of the way, which he does. Alright, now let's go to semi-fire. So this is going to be semi, which again, I don't feel like a lot of people use, but so that's 5 shots, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm still missing so many of my headshots with semi-fire. Like I say, the only downside about not having a Riven for this, for sure, is that well, about 10 shots. Well, that's not terrible. But you will essentially waste a lot more ammo than normal. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, that's 8. Let's see what it does with 8 shots. Looks like it may get him on 8. I don't know. So, yeah. I can't really get the head because it's tilt. But, alright. Now let's go full auto with these last couple ones right here. And full auto is about the same. Get them to about half. Though with this, you'll be using a lot more ammo than typical, than normal with the Riven. And they should bleed out if you have if you get your status procs. Oh, should have reloaded. So again, get them to well, a little less than half, but that one should bleed out to death. Like I said, really you're kind of banking on your hunter's munition to proc for these. Just because the slash damage alone is what's really going to kill them. Like I said, just wait for the slash procs to kind of hit. There he goes. And then if you just want to get stupid, you can always do this. And then go red crit crazy. But again, that's kind of overkill, and you don't really need to do it if you don't want to. But that is pretty much all I got on this. So let me show you again real quick the build without the Riven, and then, which like I said is going to be this build right here. And then if you really want to, like I said, you can throw in hammer shot. Granted, you'll lose some of your damage, but you'll get extra crit damage, which is always a nice thing to have. You could throw on Argon Scope. That'll give you some extra crit. It won't show there, but it'll give you plus 135% crit chance while on headshot, I should say, which isn't bad either. Then, of course, there's go to it. And I passed it. Heavy caliber, which will increase your damage by a pretty decent amount. But like I said, your accuracy is going to drop pretty high. Throw hunters back on. And actually, you can kind of do the reverse too. Keep vigilant on with hunters. Increase your status and. So, Yeah, it's kind of like I said, it's all mix and match, but this is typically the build I tend to go with if I didn't have a Riven. It would be this build. It still kills pretty fast, but you can mess around with it. But since I do have a Riven, this is my ideal build that I will be running with probably forever because I don't ever plan on selling this Riven. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching. I will catch y'all on the next Riven review.